Dame Lillard speaks out at Bucks Media Day, showing he is scared of Jrue Holiday and the Boston Celtics, highlighting the real reason the Celtics went after the all-defensive guard. That, plus other executives in the East were shocked that the Boston Celtics pulled this off, as they show they're scared as well. Plus, the Celtics defense heading into this year, we have some metrics to show you that it could be the best perimeter defense in the NBA, so you'll want to stick around for this episode of Celtics Digest. But before we get into the video, a quick reminder that 90% of you guys watching this video are not subscribed. So if you enjoy Celtics content almost every single day and you want to see it for the rest of the season, click that button down below. I think it's the other direction. We'll have content for you all the time, all season long. You won't regret it. Bruce, let's dive in. Oh boy. First off, we got to just talk about the defensive impact from Jrue Holiday. There's a lot of truths, a lot of real reasons the Celtics went after Jrue Holiday, but one that was pretty evident from the get-go is his defensive impact. And there was a tweet from Hoops Empire showing the defensive metrics for Jrue Holiday and Derrick White. Some of the percentiles for both of them in some advanced defensive statistics, such as D-LeBron, DPM, on-off defensive rating. You got defensive rating, like all kinds of different defensive stats. And Bruce, you'll notice that they're both like in the high 90th percentile for almost every single one of these stats. The Celtics, I don't think it's crazy to say that they have the best guard defense in the entire league.
I totally agree. I think that the Celtics bringing in Jrue Holiday alongside Derrick White is going to make them the top defensive duo in the league for guards. And I think that they have two of the top 5 defensive guards, definitely in the NBA. As we've seen Jrue Holiday and Derrick White both make all defensive teams in the past. I think that they'll be perfect to play alongside with each other, or if they're playing opposite, like if one of them's starting, one of them comes off the bench. I think that with them on screens, it's going to work out very well running underneath the screens and sticking with their guys. And I think that the Boston Celtics having this versatility is going to be very well for them. Obviously, giving up Marcus Smart is a little bit tough, but bringing in Jrue Holiday is going to have that good defensive impact alongside Derrick White. And I think that this defense is better than the team last year.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think a lot of that comes down to one word you said, and that's versatility, right? Like not only defensively, but also offensively. I think they're such a good fit together on the offensive side and defensive side. They're both kind of do-it-all guards, right? And they fit in very well together. And yeah, while what you said also might be a hot take for some, saying it's a better guard defense than last year when the Celtics had Marcus Smart, I don't think it's that crazy. Marcus Smart, strictly from like a one-on-one perimeter defense standpoint, is he really that much better than Jrue Holiday? I think Holiday overall with Derrick White is a better overall fit for the Celtics, and let us know down below if you agree with that or not, but I think it could be very possible Celtics have a better defense. But Bruce, while their defense is going to be amazing, you know, the thing is they're scaring other teams. We'll get into Dame again in a few minutes. You don't want to click away just yet. We got some very interesting quotes and stats to show you, but we want to talk a bit first about what some other teams have said, Bruce. And there was a quote today, and I had to censor it a little bit, but this is, I believe, Zach Lowe, right? And he said he had texts from a couple of nonpartisan front office executives in the East, and he said, you know, they were worried about for the Bucks when they made the Lillard trade that the Celtics could swoop in and get Jrue Holiday. And guess what? That's exactly what they did. He said he also heard from a couple front office executives from good Eastern Conference teams. And the texts he received in the immediate wake of the trade were something like, well, F us, or oof, this sucks. So versus not just the Bucks that's scared, it's every Eastern Conference team showing that, boy, this move from Brad Stevens was phenomenal. It's hilarious to see this.
Exactly. I totally agree. I think that the Celtics kind of put all their marbles on the floor right here and kind of put everything up to the table, bringing in Jrue Holiday, adding another fourth all-star type of guy to this team. And to go back kind of on the defensive side, talking about White and Jrue Holiday, I think that they can both be off-ball players as well, obviously playing on-ball and off-ball. I think that adds some versatility to the Celtics because Marcus Smart wasn't the greatest off-ball player. I mean, he could play with the ball in his hands, but having him being a catch-and-shoot guy, I think having Derrick White and having Jrue Holiday are going to be better shooters alongside with the Celtics. And I think that a lot of teams are going to be fearing the Boston Celtics. Maybe it was the 76ers or maybe it was the Miami Heat that made these comments. I don't really realistically know, but I think that those teams are definitely scared. Even a team like the Knicks or the Cavs, teams that are trying to rise up in the Eastern Conference, they're definitely checking out the Boston Celtics and just saying, wow, their team is just getting more stacked and stacked. And even a team like the Bucks, who moved on from Jrue Holiday, maybe not even thinking that Jrue Holiday can land with the Boston Celtics, obviously knowing he'd land somewhere else, but possibly just saying like, oh, we could just get Damian Lillard, let's upgrade. And then once they see the trade come in, be like, wow, we kind of messed up here. We have some guy to clamp our top guy that we just pulled in.
Yeah, we'll show a couple stats in a minute, but I think you're right. Like, it's now okay. I also want to preface this by saying, like, look, we're not here to say Marcus Smart was terrible, and even no, like, I honestly, Marcus Smart's still one of my favorite players in the NBA. I know it's the same thing for you, Bruce. So before you go leaving comments, like, we still love Marcus Smart. However, we got to hype up our new boy Jrue, right? And yet, I will say, we'll flash up the quote again. I can't quite see Pat Riley texting Zach Lowe something like "oof," but the first quote might make a little more sense. But yeah, you got to think other teams are like, holy crap, like that's such a formidable perimeter defense, like especially a team like the Cavs who have Garland and Donovan Mitchell as their primary sources of offense. Now you have Derrick White and Jrue Holiday to try and shut them down. Like you got to think it's scary for a lot of those teams. But it's finally time to dive into what Damian Lillard said. And yeah, I think he's a little scared, Bruce. We got some interesting things to show. We'll show a quote first from Bucks Media Day. Dame on defense. He said, quote, "I'm not going to come in here and beat Jrue Holiday. In my opinion, he's the best perimeter defender." Isn't it kind of funny how the best perimeter defender in Damian Lillard's eyes just went to the other team in the East that is the sort of seen as the number one contender, like them and the Bucks together to make the NBA Finals? It's just like it's just so perfect.
Exactly. I'm excited for this battle of the greens in the Eastern Conference right here. We're going to have a nice new rivalry starting. I know that Boston and Milwaukee have had their duels in the past, but I think that this is going to be the true force in the Eastern Conference and the true storyline of the Eastern Conference. Obviously, you have a team in the Celtics who just get Jrue Holiday, who's going to be great and be able to guard a guy like Damian Lillard. But you guys got guys like Kristaps Porzingis, Jayson, Tatum, Jaylen Brown. But the Milwaukee Bucks have another four-headed monster as well with Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Damian Lillard, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I think that it's going to be a very heavyweight matchup going back and forth. And I think that a lot of fans think that the Celtics and the Bucks are going to have a very tight matchup. And I think that it could realistically go either way, even though I'm feeling very confident that the Celtics have a game up and Jrue Holiday guarding Damian Lillard and helping that. I think that it's going to be a very close matchup when we get into the season.
Yeah, I mean, these teams always put on classics, right? It's going to be a very fun series nonetheless. But well, you mentioned something very important, and that's the fact that Jrue Holiday will be guarding Damian Lillard. And Dame has said he knows firsthand. He's played against Jrue Holiday. He thinks Jrue Holiday is the best perimeter defender. And we got some stats to show you why he might think that. So this is from 2018, I believe the first round, Pelicans versus Blazers. And just have a look. This is the Blazers side of things. Damian Lillard, 18.5 points a game in 41 minutes on 35% shooting from the field, 30% from three. Damian Lillard, a guy that is known for his playoff performances, so many iconic playoff moments throughout his career. Yet in this matchup with Jrue Holiday, he was completely shut down and nullified. CJ McCollum had to shoot over 50% to even keep them in these games, and still regardless, the series was over in 4 games. Bruce, Jrue Holiday and Damian Lillard have a history, and Dame's quote saying, "I think Drew's the best perimeter defender." Combined with these stats, you gotta think Dame is like quivering in his boots a bit at the idea that he's gonna have to go up against Jrue, and not just Jrue, but Jrue and Derrick White for 100% of whatever series the Bucks play the Celtics in.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was just going to mention the fact that he would have to go up against Derrick White as well. Like, this duo is going to be a train wreck for Damian Lillard in a headspace where they also have a little bit of an experienced guard room after Damian Lillard. I know they just picked up Cameron Payne. He's a good veteran. But after that, they got guys like Malik Beasley, Pat Connaughton, who are good players, but not guys that are going to be able to break through on guys like Jrue Holiday and Derrick White. So I think that bringing in Jrue Holiday is going to help, obviously, this backcourt on their defense, clamp Damian Lillard, hold him and restrict him. And then the Celtics will mainly have to worry about other players like Giannis and Chris Middleton in this series when they meet in the playoffs, hopefully, if they can lock down Damian Lillard.
Yeah, Giannis is obviously going to be a big problem. We're maybe not going to dive too deep into those matchups because don't know how well 38-year-old Al Horford's going to be able to hold his own in a full series against them. But regardless, being able to nullify, I mean, I'm not going to say nullify. Dame's still going to get his. It's not like he's going to go out there and put up stinkers every single night. At least it's not likely, right? He's still probably going to play pretty well. However, the history that Jrue Holiday and Damian Lillard have, the fact that the Boston Celtics have Holiday or Derrick White at any moment to guard Damian Lillard, to force him to be a little bit uncomfortable, to have to modify his game in a series, is such a big thing. And I just feel like those kind of things, Bruce, are so important when you get to playoff series, when they'll probably go their whole year being able to work on their game plan with Dame and Giannis. But when it comes to the Celtics, I feel like that's one thing, especially come playoff time, when you have to change your game plan around another team's defensive kind of scheme, that can be a huge difference maker.
Exactly. I think that the guard room is definitely going to cause some headaches for this Damian Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks backcourt when they do play against each other. And obviously, when you get closer to the playoffs, these teams are going to be able to gel closer with each other. They're going to get that experience of playing with each other this whole season. So even though the Bucks will still have Damian Lillard growing with their team, the Celtics team will be growing with themselves defensively. And these guys are all locked in. Guys like Brown and Tatum yesterday said that they want to make all defensive teams. So this team wants to buy in and be the best defensive team and the best offensive team throughout the whole roster, and that's going to help them excel when they get to the playoffs, I believe.
Oh, can you imagine a world where the Celtics have the number one offense and defense? And the crazy thing is, it doesn't seem that far out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly.
It's going to be such an exciting season. Super hyped to see this team go in. Fill the team out with maybe some depth pieces if they can. But even now, super excited. It's going to be a fun ride. But that'll do it for this news episode of Celtics Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're still watching at this point in the video, over 10 minutes in, and you haven't, which way? That way, hit that button. Why haven't you? You enjoyed the content. We'll have a lot more where this comes from. I'm Josh Gosse for my co-host, Bruce Veliz. We'll catch you in the next one.